Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another MLB trade rumor video. This is part 2 to the video I did yesterday talking about Trey Mancini to the Cubs. This one is Dansby Swanson to the Cubs. As you can tell, I'm still a little sick, but again, that doesn't stop me from getting you the important news. So first, I want to know what you guys think about all of these trades, or free agent signings, I should say, especially with the Cubs as of late. They could be making some huge moves, and we're going to tell you why in this video. Dansby Swanson to the Cubs makes a lot of sense, and it's up to them, obviously, if they want to pull the trigger, but I think it'd make a lot of Cubs fans happy, and it'd be a legit chance at regaining the NL Central. We're going to talk about all that here in 1 second, but we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button. Help me get there by the end of this year. That is our goal, but let's get right into the news. Dansby Swanson to the Cubs. It really seems like this might be a stretch, but I don't think it's impossible. It is being reported that the Cubs are in on conversation with Carlos Correa and Dansby Swanson. They are looking for that star player, right? That star guy who basically they can kind of go and make a franchise player out of, right? You know, Dansby Swanson, I think, has a better case of being that player with the Cubs than Carlos Correa. But, sorry about that. But I think that Carlos Correa is probably the better player. Regardless, the Cubs should try for one of them. I think they are. Dansby Swanson, though, I think is really a guy who he becomes the star player. And I think he's cheaper than Carlos Correa. He is a legit player, and I think he makes the team so much better. So I already mentioned that the Cubs lost a couple of players. They have to go out and pay for a team, right? They cannot just get all of these, sub guys that they have to work on, young guys from like the Chris Bryant trade. Obviously losing players like their catcher. Is it who is it? What? It's not Castellanos. It is Contreras. Gosh darn it. I couldn't remember his name. Just blanked there for a second. But they have to basically rebuild their entire team, right? They need that player. Dansby Swanson's that player. 2022. His stats. He was an all-star. He was a gold glove. And he was 12th in MVP voting. He played in all 162 games, which is crazy. And the year before that, in 2021, he played in all 160, which led the league out of 162. In 2020, he played in every single game. Like, this dude plays. He balls out every year. And he's really good. Like, he's really good. So, he had a 115 OPS plus. That's 277 batting average. A 776 OPS. And 25 home runs, 96 RBIs, also had 18 stolen bases. Like, the dude could play, right? The dude could ball out. And that's what the Cubs need. Like I said, they have a bunch of young talent that they've acquired just kind of all over the place. A signing here. They just got Bellinger. Like, they've got a bunch of, I would say, mid-tier players that definitely have the potential to grow into something, but they don't have that star. And I still don't think Mancini is that star, like I said yesterday. But Dansby Swanson is. Like, he is 28 years old. He is in his prime right now. He's gotten MVP votes from the COVID year. Last year, he still had a really good season. This year, even better than the last. Like, he is an average hitter, probably a little bit above average, especially last year. In a year that he walks, he's a little bit above average, and he's a really good defenseman. Like, he is probably... If Carlos Correa is here, he is like right here. He is on the doorstep of what a Carlos Correa is, who doesn't demand that much money, right? Like, I don't know if I can pull up the contract really quickly here. I don't think I can, at least not on this page, and I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing it. He's not $35 million worth. I don't think. So you can go out and get him to a long-term deal. If you want to pay for him for 10 years, you probably could. And he becomes the star, the centerpiece, a Cub in the image of its fan base. He becomes that guy for the next however many years they want to sign him for. And that is what the Cubs need right now. Like I said, they have a bunch of, I would say, mid-tier talent that has definitely the potential to grow into something, but it's not there yet. And one player I'm not saying makes the entire difference. Like I said, you still go out and get Mancini. You still sign a good player like Dansby Swanson. But it makes the most sense for the Cubs for two reasons. One, the NL Central is not that good of a division. Like, the Brewers were in first place for a long time. They don't really have much. Like, Yelich is nowhere close to where he used to be. They have a couple of good relievers, obviously, in Williams and in Hader, but then they shipped Hader out. Like, they had a good piece, but that wasn't a solid team. Obviously, they didn't even make the playoffs. You've got the Cardinals. They lost a ton of talent in Pujols, Wainwright, and Yadier Molina. Now, those guys obviously were getting old. Is their talent still there? I don't know, but it's going to be a different team next year, especially payroll-wise. Where are they going to go, right? I know they just got, the Cubs' former catcher. The division's still wide open, though. Like, it's competitive, and the Cubs are there. Like, they need to make a move, and they'll be there. And if they don't, obviously it won't happen. But this is the guy who can make an impact. He had a 5.9 WAR or something like that, 5.7 WAR this year, 5 extra games that you're winning because this guy is in. That could be the division race in the NL Central. So that is why I think it's a great move for them. Obviously, there's talks with the Dodgers, with the Braves, ironically, have had like zero conversation with him, I guess, from reports. I don't know who they're going to go with as their shortstop, but you've got teams like the Dodgers who could go pay for anybody. They definitely need to now that Turner's gone. I don't know if the Cubs are number one on the list, but they're rumored, and that's what's important, is like if the Cubs wanted to, they could, right? If the Cubs wanted to go get Swanson, they absolutely could. Payroll-wise, I mean, just star-wise, power-wise, probably from a contract, like I don't know exactly what the Cubs' payroll is next year. It's not $300 and something million like the Mets. It's not anywhere near the Rangers. Like, they have a big market that they can shine a player like Swanson for probably $250 million over the course of 7, 8 to 10 years if they wanted to. And I think that is your guy. And I would love to see Dansby Swanson in blue and red, just being in Wisconsin, kind of going down to see him. But like, he's a good player. He's got that potential, that star power at 28 years old, almost 29. Like, he could take a long year deal for something that, is not going to cost you a Trey Turner. He's not going to cost you Aaron Judge. I think $250 million is probably that cap, but like $25 million a year for the next 6, 7, 8 years, that's an easy deal I would take for Dansby Swanson, and he becomes a star of my team. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the statements. Dansby Swanson, a great player. I'd love to see him play for the Cubs. I think if they wanted him, they could go get him, and hopefully they could. I hope he just doesn't go to the Dodgers. That's really what I'm saying. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Get us to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It's a lofty goal. We might get to 4,000, but I just hope that you guys do enjoy the videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.